Well, before you have surgery or even a preventative exam like a mammogram, you probably make sure that the medical center is in network with your insurance.
But News4 Investigates is finding complaints of people getting high bills from out-of-network doctors, even if they go to an in-network hospital.
Our Chief Investigative reporter Jeremy Finley is working for you tonight to help you avoid bills you'll never see coming.
This was the first one I got.
Like most of us,
The facility doesn't know, da-da-da-da-da.
when Whitney Pastor got her insurance coverage statement, she was a bit...
I got this letter from, well, first I called. Here, I'm not doing this in the right order.
confused.
4 pages, front and back, of healthcare mumbo jumbo.
Especially when her preventative mammogram, which she'd never been charged for before, was performed at a hospital in her insurance network. But afterwards, she got a hefty bill from an out-of-network doctor.
I had gotten bitten by, I think, a spider.
Doug Showalter made sure to choose an in-network hospital when he had an emergency. And he, too, got a high bill afterwards from an out-of-network physician.
I was just a little bit under $1,000.
So hold up. You pay insurance and choose in-network medical center to avoid an out-of-network doctor, right? Well, our investigation found, forget all that. It can happen anytime, and no hospital is obligated to tell you.
Remember, while a hospital or clinic may be in-network, that doesn't mean their doctors or specialists are in network or are actually their employees. Look at Pastoric's insurance coverage statement. Clearly states an out-of-network provider was her radiologist. When she appealed, here's how she says her insurance explained it.
Even though St. Thomas Midtown is in network for you, that radiologist is out of network. And I said, well, then why didn't the facility warn me?
Showalter had the same question because he too went to a St. Thomas hospital.
It makes me feel incredibly taken advantage of.
Despite our repeated requests for an interview, St. Thomas declined. A spokeswoman writing in part, though we strive to stay aligned on in-network status, there will occasionally be instances where a physician or contractor is out of network. But there's nothing occasional about hospitals and medical centers doing this, according to the Kaiser Family Foundation, which studies national health issues. They say, on average, 1 in 6 planned procedures result in an out-of-network bill. Karen Politz is with the Kaiser Foundation.
This is kind of the #1 affordability concern among privately insured people.
Okay, so what do you do if you've got a procedure coming up? You start asking questions immediately, especially if you need these specialists. The Kaiser Foundation says these are the ones most likely to be out of network. And if you need them, you ask on the front end if a specialist can be used that's in your network.
I think it's incredibly screwed up.
So if you've got this kind of surprise bill, you really have 2 choices. 1, realize hospitals don't have to tell you a thing, and you pay it.
I tried to fight it for a good 4 months, and I eventually couldn't. Nobody was willing to help me at all, so I just ended up paying it.
Or you fight it, you appeal it over and over. In Pastoric's case, she won and didn't have to pay a dime, avoiding a financial pitfall too many fall into.
Most Americans don't have $400 to pay for an emergency.
Jeremy Finley, News4 Investigates.
And then you get bill after bill after bill, too. So what about the other major hospitals in our city? A spokesman for Vanderbilt said because most of their doctors work for Vanderbilt, they all take the same insurances as the hospital. Now, for HCA, a spokeswoman wrote that they encourage all their physicians to take the same insurance networks as the hospital. We did ask HCA to clarify if that's just a suggestion or a requirement. We have not heard back. We are always working for you. So right now on WSMV.com, we have more tips on how to avoid these bills on the front end. Also, information about a federal law that does not kick in until next year, but will give you relief from these surprise bills.